Welcome back to another episode of our non-reader reacts, which is sweeping the nation. We are here to react to episode 5 of the Wheel of Time. We have with us G Mama and Lady Catherine, and Brother Dan and I are going to be guiding these lovely ladies through the episode, trying to get their thoughts, their feelings, and their predictions.
Hello, Goyles. How are ya?
Hello.
What just happened?
Hello, Goyles. Oh, that's just me saying hi. Blood Calls Blood is the name of this episode.
What was it called? I need to pay attention to that. Blood Calls Blood?
Yeah. What do you think that means in context? Nothing, right?
I not know. I got nothing.
Grace, you called it. Rand.
Oh, yeah, his hair had grown out a bit.
Yeah, the red. Yeah.
But not a whisker in sight.
Right.
That
No,
chiseled jaw
A
was
baby's
just...
bottom.
Yeah.
It happens to some of us. You know what? I'm not going to fault the guy for can't growing a beard. I mean, this is just what genetics allow, right? I mean, Ryan has a great mustache and I don't have anything. And sometimes that's just what God intends. All right, so it starts with a funeral. It is the funeral for not only Karini, but also everyone who died, even the bad guys. They bury the king.
Right.
They bury all his men, all the king's horses and all the king's men, and Humpty Dumpty.
And Humpty Dumpty.
And that circle actually kind of did look like an egg a little bit.
And they were probably eggshell white sheets.
Like a kind of a perfect circle, which I thought took a lot of effort for them to dig those graves, like so symmetrically around that circle.
And so shallowly.
And so shallowly. I did like that they buried everyone, though. There was definitely a respect for life and death and the next life, I think, that was shown in that act.
By giving them a shallow grave that animals can just eat them.
Well, for the next
dogs.
then they want to get them into the next life more quickly, I guess. So if they went too deep, it would take too long.
They'd have to climb out. Yeah, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the depth of the grave, but just the fact that they respect that everyone will come back again somewhere else, and
so you just hope that like in 5 years, some like kid who you didn't bury correctly isn't like coming up to you and like shaking you in the calf muscle.
Yeah, I don't know what they believe if you don't bury someone, what the consequence is, but
Well, where was the dirt?
Good point.
I'm sure that would come later.
Do you think?
No, I mean, like when you dig a hole, there's usually dirt by it. You know, I didn't see it. I'm just saying.
It looked as good in that shot. That
aerial, yeah.
Cut. We can still see dirt. Can you get that dirt out of there? All right, let's do it again. Drone shot and go. And action.
Do you think they used the 1 power to dig those little shallow graves?
Poof. Possibly. Didn't even think that.
Poof.
Where were we? Brother Dan, 5
We're in the first 2 seconds of the episode.
Yeah, we're really breaking this down.
All right, so Steppin carries Kadiri all the way. I don't need help. I got her. She's heavy, but I got her. Lays her down himself. So the ceremony, there was probably a good 24 at least bodies there. And this is with women who could heal. So these are people that were beyond healing, I would assume. That's a pretty gnarly battle. And once again, they were shallow graves. We see later that the Tinker dogs do eat dead things. I hope the Tinkers don't come across this part. The dogs are going to eat.
The Tinker dogs, they eat dead animals, or the dogs killed animals?
Yeah. I thought they killed them.
I thought they killed them.
Well, they're eating dead animals. They're not eating live ones. Maybe they kill them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
What a weird argument.
Yeah, I just thought it was roadkill.
So what do you guys think about the funeral? It was touching or what?
What?
I thought so. I mean, I was emotional just watching it and watching them all. You know, it seemed obviously like it was a pretty big deal for an Aes Sedai to die. So all her sisters, and then the warders very much, were affected by it.
Were you surprised to see Leandrin showing that much emotion?
No, I mean, somebody died, whether she was like her best friend or not. It was a traumatic and sad experience. She doesn't want anyone on her side to die.
So that was a pretty powerful moment, and it was pretty somber. There was some weird singing.
Yeah.
Who knew Alana could do that? She was ululating.
I'm sorry, what was that word, Rain?
She was ululating in the upper registers.
Like that?
I didn't remember the singing in that one. I remembered the singing, like the dirge.
The Tuvan singing the throat.
Yeah, I remember that one. But yeah, that was weird.
I'll do it later. But that's just a tip. All right, so then...
so much to look forward to.
Boom, 1 month later, we see the Aes Sedai are showing up at the White Tower. They're like, there it is. How's it feel to be home? She's like, home is this saddle. And you, stone-faced man. And he's like, oh, I love you.
Was not very stone-faced.
Wasn't very stone-faced. He smiled.
We were discussing what the White City would look like. And when they first showed it, I thought it looked like something out of Star Wars. Like I expected something to come flying by just at the top section there. It just looked futuristic at one section.
Oh, interesting.
What do you think of the shape of it?
A little phallic.
It was very phallic. And when you look at the map of Tar Valon, and that's what's in the middle of it, it's...
yes. Absolutely.
Start spreading the news.
I did think that. I'm like, oh, of course that's what's in the middle of the Vagina City.
Remember those penises in Little Mermaid? Rand said that mountain looks familiar.
He did. And we didn't see the mountain when the Aes Sedai were approaching the White Tower. We just saw the tower. But when he saw the mountain first, and then they went up, and it was the mountain and then the tower. So the mountain was first.
I figured they're all coming. Remember, they were coming from different continents and ecosystems. Ecosystems that he just took the long way through the rocks. They took the windy way, and they took the grass way.
Right.
They knew where the entrance was, and he wound up going the back way.
Well, what I'm just saying is his comment on the mountain.
Yeah, and what do you think it meant that he remembered?
Somewhere in his past, one of his past lives. Or past
as a dragon?
Or a dream or something.
As the what?
Okay.
Or a book?
Well, because
all
the
these
guy
people have
who
connected
said...
dreams, right? Everybody has connected dreams, and everybody has other lives. So, I mean, he's a farm boy from the Two Rivers, but
the gentleman that was depowered last episode said...
Depowered. I like that.
Yeah. And he said he sees all of the past dragons and what they experienced and how and learns from them. Maybe that is a prelude to him being part dragon. I don't know.
Part dragon. I do it on the side.
Just a scaly ass.
It's a gig. Gig economy. I'm part-time dragon. Matt and Rand get into the city. The city's bustling. Matt is fucked up looking. He does not look good. They get to an inn, and we find out that Matt seems to be having guilt about the family. He doesn't remember what happened. He's like, tell me again, Rand. Rand's like, you didn't kill him. I'm pretty sure you didn't.
I don't think you did. And he's not believing Rand. He wanted to hear it from Tom, but Tom's not there. So
Tom's dead.
Tom's dead, as he says. But so it's the full on guilt of just what he thinks happened. We don't know when he sort of came to, if it's when they took him out. We don't quite. know what he does or doesn't remember. But, he thinks he killed the little girl.
He's like, wait, I'm on a horse? What the fuck? How did I get here?
Where's that little doll? Oh, man.
I'm just with Rand. Where's Tom? God damn it.
Yeah, but he's also kind of a jerk when he's walking up there. He's got a really short temper. He's really...
There's something wrong with him.
Kids come by and he
almost knifes a little kid.
Yeah, he just kind of flips. And then I like the way they walk into town and Rand offers food. But they just kind of ignore Matt. Matt, he offers Matt his food, but Matt will just, Remember you were saying he was vomiting the...
Evil sand? Which we now are calling Evelson?
Evelson, yeah.
Evelson, yeah.
So the food's just going to turn into Evelson anyway, so why bother?
I see.
Well, he's looking more and more like Kurt Cobain on a bender. With this,
Matt doesn't look like he could afford that little cricket or whatever Matt bought. He's like, what is it? He's like, I don't know.
Did he even pay? I thought
he didn't. He just took it and
he did pay. He did pay. He gave him a coin or two.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, no, look at it. I noticed. But Rand is like Anthony Bourdain. He just enters the new city and he's like, "Yeah, I want to try your cuisine."
Reservation.
Like, I got no reservations. Exactly right.
Just as what's in that hot dog?
Don't ask.
Don't worry about it.
If everyone likes it, then I'm gonna do it. Let's talk about the Tinkers.
And Perrin's new Tinker hairdo.
Oh. Did he have little tinker dreads?
Yeah, he's starting to get tinker dreads.
Yeah. No, he looks like a basketball player now.
Yeah, it's been a month. His hair, it's like what else do you do with your hair? So I liked it.
They seem to revolve around the way of the leaf.
What?
Yeah,
which essentially is just turnip curry.
Right. Right.
You know what? I was waiting for the white knight, to show up because when they separated, the the fighter ones were going to Gandahar. They heard that there was something going on there.
For the war,
I was surprised
the battle was down there.
Geldar?
Right, so I'm surprised they didn't run into him.
I like Gandahar.
Gandahar, yeah.
I knew what you meant. I didn't remember the name of it. I knew
it's cool. No, I remember him saying we're gonna go south, and he says, but the war is in Gildan. He says, well, we have other issues to attend to, something like that. So yeah, he actually was moving away from the war.
But the others were going to the war.
Yeah.
The warrior guys. So I'm surprised that they didn't run into them.
Yeah, it seems that Valda instead just went pretty much camped right outside of the White Tower. I mean, Perrin and Egwin saw it from when they were walking. And yet all the Tinkers got beat up.
Yeah,
we don't know what happened to Aram. But
it didn't look good. He went head-on collision with a horse.
Yeah.
Right. I mean that. Yeah. I mean, I've seen Tom Brady take worse on a Sunday.
But they protected them. So I still, when I first met the Tinkers, I liked them. I still like them, and they did everything to protect Perrin and Egwene.
They pretty much linked arms, made a meat wall, and started singing "We Shall Overcome," and got trampled by more or less the police.
I think they were. No, I thought they were singing like "Kumbaya."
They were singing.
It was more peaceful than.
Yeah, I like the way the guy just slaps the chick. I mean, there's probably like 10 guys in the row, one girl, and he just walks up and slaps her first.
Yeah.
So let me translate for Lady Catherine. She doesn't like that a woman got slapped.
No, she does. No, she calls them all gentlemen, except for when the dude slaps a chick.
Then he loses gentleman status.
He definitely does.
we'll stay with Perrin and Egwin. The White Cloaks do end up capturing them both. Egwin is strapped to a chair. Child buyer.
Well, before that, she's stripped and scrubbed.
Yes.
Like viciously by all these nasty men.
They clean her fingernails and stuff.
That was very disturbing, that whole scene.
It was meant to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that's kind of that prison mentality, though. You know, I think you throw people in the shower and or concentration camp, you throw like de-lice on them. I mean, like these horrible treatment, but there is still like we got to clean you before you can talk to an officer, I guess.
Right. Or even like, again, these like, I don't even know. I don't know the right word to call them. These like ultra like fundamentalists, like, yeah, they just think there's evil in you or you're dirty. So they're going to, do not just prison, but just that different sects of, I can't think of what they're called, but you know what I mean.
But I think it's just so that she could wear the white, because they did not do that to him, and he didn't get dressed in the white.
And they didn't bathe him and scrub him down at all either. I mean, he just beat up and filthy.
Right.
They only stripped her.
It's a very good point that you made, that Perrin does not get the same treatment. They allow him to be all dirty when they bring him into the tent. He's put over this pommel horse type thing.
It looked like the locks, or like the when they put your like arms and hands kind of in that
stockade or something.
Yeah, stocks.
Yeah.
Now, they told her they wanted her to channel and this and that, but they pretty much just tortured him and didn't expect much from him, as if he's a guy. There's no use asking him to channel because she'll be the one to channel, not him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't seem to think that. I mean, their issue is with Aes Sedai, is with women who channel. They don't seem to have a concern or issue with men.
Do they even believe?
The Aes Sedai have the issue with the men channeling.
Do they believe men can channel?
I don't know. I mean, it didn't seem like he had a concern at all about Perrin.
So
he thought Perrin was her warder.
Why do you think he was so convinced she could channel? What's up with that?
I don't know if he was so convinced, or if it was just that he's a bully and wanted to just torture somebody and hadn't for a while. So
I think the line he used was, you may not be able to channel, but you can touch the true source. That I know.
Yeah.
I think because he had run into them previously and he said, I will not forget your faces. That when he saw them going there, he thought, too much, don't believe in coincidences. This is too much of a coincidence. And went after him.
And they were going
on their way to Tarvalon.
Yep, they were on their way to Tarvalon.
Yeah.
Interesting. We've seen Moiraine airweave a Trolloc to smithereens. And this man is standing in front of a woman who could potentially do all sorts of things to him. And he's saying, channel. He's egging her on to channel. Why is this guy not afraid to get airweaved to smithereens?
Because I think he knows that she's not a fully trained Aes Sedai. Now, if he ever thought the same thing about Nynaeve, he'd be in trouble. But he hunts these people. He knows what they are and what they look like and how they carry themselves. And so he knows that she's not a fully trained Aes Sedai. So if she can channel, he's
just enjoying the torture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he clearly enjoys the torture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was playing tic-tac-toe on his back.
Hopscotch. It was a hopscotch line with chalk.
Seriously, it was like crisscross, and I was like...
So yeah, he starts cutting into Perrin's back. He's like, all right, well, fuck it. I just want to carve this fine specimen of a man. Starts carving into his back. And says,
well, before that, he's eating a baby pig. And then he grabs the knife and covers and like pours, I guess, wine or blood on the knife. And then proceeds to cut all over him.
And then cuts him.
Is that to disinfect it?
But yeah, fucking, I hated him for the baby pig more than when he did to Perrin.
You hated him for the baby pig more than
succulent.
him slapping a woman across the face who was just standing there.
Hey, he had autonomy. She could have ran.
Pig's good.
This is not the way. Turnip curry.
Pig's good.
Turnip curry. Jesus.
All right, so Child Valda says, all right, I'm going to kill one of y'all. You figure it out. Peace out. I'll be back. Boom. He leaves, and they're like, so Perrin confesses to Egwene what happened with Layla. He's like, I deserve to die. I killed her. This is my just punishment. Don't worry about it. I'll take it. But then when Valda comes in, they don't really say anything. He's like, oh, all right. I guess I'm just going to have to kill this guy. Egwene tries to make a fireball, does make a fireball, and it just fizzles out. We don't know if it was just a baby fireball or did Valda get rid of it?
No, I think it was just a little. She was trying to work all that up. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Well, what he said is, I am harder to kill than you might think, or something along those lines.
And what I thought was really cool, and I just want to remind everyone, before that happens, Egwene says to Perrin, you will understand that it's not your fault. Whether it takes your whole lifetime, you will understand. Before you die, you'll understand. And that's when he looks and goes, oh, don't do it. And what did you think of that? Do you guys remember that?
I don't. I kind of missed that though.
It was like her little speech, and then he realized that she was going to out herself as an Aes Sedai.
Well, and that was really interesting too, because it was while he is being cut, she is absolving him of his sin. She's almost giving him last rites, saying, "This wasn't your fault. Don't worry, even if it's to the end of your life," which could have been in a minute. She's like, "Don't worry about it. It's not your fault." To me, that was her forgiving him of his sins. But the whole time, his eyes are flashing yellow.
Yeah, by the way. Yeah. By the way. And then proceeded to have the wolves bail him out.
Well, Edwin,
like they were wolf-like.
Oh, very much. Yeah. And he growled, right? I mean, he growled there like a wolf. He was kind of foaming at the mouth. I mean, it was definitely animal-like.
Yeah, Perrin actually said, I'm on the hunt, I'm after you.
I heard that. I do remember that part.
Yeah.
So Egwene shows some savvy. She throws a fireball at him, perhaps knowing it was going to be futile, but distracting him, while she, on the other hand, was undoing his knots or weakening his bonds. Like, what do you think she did to allow him to get out?
I don't think she did anything to allow him to get out. I think he got out on his own.
Oh, I thought she cooked his ropes. The ropes.
It's not our show, it's their show.
Oh, you're right.
And
I
you're
thought she
welcome no
was
more.
doing a diversion.
I mean, he said he was going to kill one of them, right? And so they were both kind of trying to sacrifice themselves. So she wanted him to stop torturing and almost killing Perrin. And so once she channeled, then he
turned around.
Right.
And so while that was happening, what did Perrin do? Just Hulk out of those things, or what?
He kind of turned into a wolf. That's when he got all his eyes. His eyes turned all yellow. He got all beast-like. So if she did something to his ropes, I didn't notice that. I thought it was him turning. And they were protecting each other. So she was trying to do that to prevent him from killing Perrin. Perrin had to get out to prevent him from killing Egwene. So
Awesome.
I thought they were using what powers they each had in order to save the other.
Awesome. Do you think he's dead?
Catherine?
Who?
The child dude?
Child Valda?
I don't know that wolves leave a whole lot behind.
No, I don't think so. You know, if you don't see them die then I don't assume they died.
So not in a shallow grave with a eggshell white sheet being put over them and a candle.
Again, I take things a little bit more at face value. I'm like, oh, she just killed him. She just killed a man.
Let's talk a little bit about Moiraine. She enters the White Tower. She talks with Leandrin, and then she talks with Alana, or vice versa. I'm not sure which comes first. She eats some fruit with Alana, and then looks at like some hidden picture.
Yeah.
Right?
So what do we get from Moiraine in this episode?
She is, I feel like she's a loner, is on the road, right? And doesn't get along with other people in the tower. We haven't seen any other blue Aes Sedai yet either. You know, they're starting to talk more about the different factions, and the only one we've really seen her have a more personal relationship with is Alana. And then in that conversation, they were talking about Leandrin and how she is really quite against her. And then they were talking about the other woman too, the Amyrlin, that it sounds like she's not a fan of Moiraine's either. So
Sawan Sanche.
Sawan, yeah.
She said, you've made two powerful enemies.
Right. So whatever, I don't know what she's done to make those enemies, or if just her kind of sort of wanting to be alone and wanting to be on her saddle instead of in the tower, right? She's got nothing in her room. She just...
How cool would it have been if Moiraine opened up that painting and it's just a little painting of Jenny the dog?
What was that she was looking at?
It looked to me like a woman standing and looking out a window of the tower. What I was and I didn't like pause it or rewind it or whatever to look and see what it was, but I was thinking it was in the tower. Maybe, I don't know, maybe when you get inducted you get this little portrait of yourself.
like when you go on a certain
That was a graduation photo from when she became
This is where I could have been.
That's amazing.
This
That's
is
so
when you
funny.
pause, do that pose with your tilt your head, put your fist under there you go. There you go. Smile.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can you put yes, yes. Look towards your future. Your future's right here. Look right here.
My senior photos are exactly like that. I'm like,
oh no, you get the one that you can look straight forward, and then the one in the background where they're looking out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah, it was her senior portrait. That's what it was.
Yeah. So what I found from Maureen, I thought was interesting when she was speaking to Wisdom, because I forget everyone's names, is that she
Which
was
we
saying,
love.
Huh?
We love, by the way.
Okay. She was saying, stay here. Don't go out. Everyone has their own agenda. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering as to if she's thinking all of the other Ashanti girls has her own agenda, what is her own agenda?
I'm sure she has one too.
And Leandra was like, yeah, go ahead and explore. The library's over there. I think we actually have a P.F. Chang's in here. Not many people know it, but if you go to the third floor, we got a P.F. Chang's. Everything's free, by the way. We ask you to bust your own plates, of course, but that's just courtesy. But yeah, go ahead. Oh, and if it's today Friday, because it's all you can eat fish and chips.
Don't eat the turnip soup.
Don't eat the turnip curry.
Yeah.
It's made by dirty tinkers.
They don't wash their hands.
But Lady Catherine, I think you're right. I think Moiraine definitely has an agenda too, and that sort of is what came out and why she has a couple enemies. I do think, though, she was very sincere in saying that, but she was very careful. She didn't necessarily say she would keep her friends safe. She said, I will, what did she say?
I will bring them to you.
I will bring them
Yes.
to you.
Bring you to them.
No, that's what it was.
I will bring you to them.
I will bring you to them.
Not, I'll tell you when I find them or anything like that.
And not, I'll bring them to you, but I'll bring you to them. Again, she can't lie. It was just a very carefully worded. But
and she did just warn her about the White Tower, so she might not be super confident to just walk these TAVERN who one may be the dragon. Hey, come on, let's go find Nynaeve. I mean, it might be more prudent to gently take Nynaeve out to them. I mean, it could be a security.
I mean, it could be, but it just, again, what she says, it's always very carefully chosen. And she even, when she had that conversation, she didn't ask Lan to leave. She looked at Lan and he walked out the door so that she could have the one-to-one. And well, that's when she was talking to Nynaeve about being like what she remembers it felt like to the first time she channeled and felt that power. And again, there was a sincerity there that I heard.
Do you think she's accepting it or no?
We keep seeing her. I see her have like little sort of her facial reactions. There's some definitely realizations there and some pondering. So I think she's fighting it, but I think we saw her face. I mean, even when she talked to Leandrin, she was like, okay, I'm learning more. I'm understanding a little bit more. At Steppin's funeral, she was, emotional like all of them. She doesn't know that she sort of aided in that because she gave Steppin the tea that he gave to Lan. Lan was basically there on suicide watch. He's like, I'm staying with you all night.
Mm-hmm.
I took that in a different direction, but I think she's having some realizations. I mean, clearly she knows she's got this power.
Yeah.
But she still doesn't trust any of the Aes Sedai.
No, and I don't know who she can and who she can't yet, personally. I'm surprised that they all reached the same place so quickly. I'm glad they did.
In a month? It was like over a month.
It was 5 episodes.
Oh, you mean episode-wise?
It could have been 3 seasons,
Yeah. I see what you mean. I was surprised at the 1 month later.
Yeah, I'm concerned about Matt.
Uh-huh.
And I do like the way that they did bring up the fact that Rand has red hair and the red hair goes along with those.
Aiel.
That was pointed out by Loial. So we meet a character that is an Ogier. What was your opinion of Loial?
Thought he looked like a lion.
Okay.
Nice.
His facial figures.
Yeah.
Oglar or something.
And now that you mention it, Cassie, he did say he wants courage.
Brother David, Cassie called him Oglar.
Oglar. Oglagly. Oglaglar. Oglar.
I liked him. He was a little bit of this, again, I felt safe. I don't know exactly where they were, but he seemed quite friendly. He wanted to be friends with Rand. Just like, oh, sure, I'll go with you. Let me just pack up my things. So
what he said too.
What's that?
Oh, the humans are in such a hurry. They don't even wait to bring all the stuff that they're going to need to be prepared for what they're walking into.
He's a dummy.
Yes, exactly. He's like, you're going to blow it. I'm going to have to bail you out. So obviously he's going to be somewhere. It was quite weird that then he just showed up later. He knocked.
He's like, Grand Outdoor? Hey, I think I got something for you.
Yeah. Knocked on the door. He's all, hey, Rand, I found somebody wandering in the garden.
She had a braid. I just took her.
Yeah. That was a little of all the things in the episode that they kind of showed that sort of happened.
That happened.
And I noticed that she got her braid back right away because you had said afterwards that her hair was all flowy and regular. After
I think you were just saying that at the very end of that last episode, her hair was just all over because
it's back. It's back.
And now it's back. She's like, nope. I got to braid it up because it's significant.
Yep.
That it stays in a braid.
Yeah.
And Loial mentioned that too. I think he said something about.
Yeah, that's a rite of passage for women in the Two Rivers.
Yeah.
He's like, shut up, Loial. I'm Loial. I'm hugging.
Yeah. And then she went to try and help help Matt, and he like flipped on her. Don't touch me. Like there was like an evil voice.
Well, first he was like naive. Oh, is that you? Oh, it's so good to see you. She's like, let me see your tongue. He's like, get the fuck away.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's talk Steppin's funeral. Steppin kills himself. He apparently does not want to live without his Aes Sedai. The water bond we were beat over the head with as far as just how tight it is between the warder and the Aes Sedai. And when the Aes Sedai dies, it was, quote, as if the water swallows her death. He had the option to become Alana's warder.
A foursome.
Yeah, just add to.
He goes, I've never made love to a man. And I go, two.
No. You're jumping in the water like
Right.
where there's big waves. This isn't gentle.
You better swim.
Have you seen these men? They are tough guys. Yeah.
Yeah, little didgeridoo actor. I don't know about you, Lady Catherine, or anyone else. I cried. I was very emotional during.
I was just like trying to figure out why that they wanted Lan to touch him.
Well, here was the lines. It says, lay your hand on him. And then he says, Lan, relieve us of our grief.
Okay.
And so Lan touches him. And so I was going to ask you, do you think there was some transference there that he embodied all the grief of everyone there and symbolized it, but Moiraine was still feeling it through the bond? Or was she just being empathetic? Or what was going on there? Lan doesn't normally scream and cry like that.
I was thinking that he was the representative, whether he was kind of channeling everybody's or he was the one chosen, because he and Steppin obviously had a relationship or were friends or whatever it was. But so whether he was truly channeling everyone's or whether he just was the one chosen to represent it and did. And I felt my feeling was Moiraine was definitely feeling his feelings.
I think everybody was feeling his feelings. I think it went through the crowd. I think it was sort of like almost like a drum circle when they all started beating their chests. But I think they all were feeling, it was like one unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Ryan's doing over there.
Yeah, it was there were a lot of ceremonies in this episode too. The very beginning, it was a ceremony, a funeral in a very different way than the end funeral. The ring ceremony that he put in. I mean, there were a lot of things that were just, again, everything had a real ceremonial end to it.
Did you notice, or was it me, when the ring was made into a necklace, the ring then no longer had a stone?
I didn't notice. I was looking and I didn't notice that it was green. So I didn't know if there was not a stone in it, or Yeah, I noticed that I didn't see anything green in it.
Because he put it in with the gold and there was no stone in there that went with the gold. So I think when she passed, the color passed with her.
Oh.
And he just brought the empty ring with him.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, crazy. Or maybe he nicked it as a keepsake. Well, let's get the moment when Logain was brought into.
Yeah, I was trying to remember that. I was going to mention that.
All right, so we. What do you remember about that scene? Something very subtle happens in that scene.
Or not so subtle when he was walking in, when he was coming in, and he looked at Matt, stared at Matt, and started laughing. And it was a delusion, it seemed like, because Rand looked at Matt and he's like, "Hey, Matt." And he's like, "No, I'm good." And Logain was still kind of lying in there, but so this whole idea of Matt going crazy, Rand thinks he can channel. The Tom, the Gleeman, thinks he can. So, but when we saw Logain, who could channel, he was very strong and very powerful, and Matt isn't. So whether it's because he's fighting it or something, but we know he's got the evil sand going on too. So, I think it's the evil sand that's his issue. Whether he can channel might be a whole separate issue, but that's not what's going on with him. Because look at Logain versus Matt, and they're not.
I don't know if he's gone crazy or if the guy actually was visually sending him the thing, as in, oh, look, it's the next me. Giving him that indication, like, oh, they think they got me, but no, you're right there.
Well, they kind of make a suicide pact right after.
Right, they do.
They're like, all right, if it's one of us, we're not going to get like that. We're going to make sure that you're going to make sure I don't get like that, and I'll make sure, of course, I'm going to make sure you don't get like that.
Well, Rand, we've noticed, has power.
When did we see Rand? When did we see Rand's power?
When he could knock down the door that was steel.
Right. He helped himself out of the door. Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Perrin can control nature or wolves at least.
Well, and he and almost nearly turned into a wolf.
Naeem. She's got the
strongest so far.
Super base. And then Egrin has like a flicker.
A little ball of fire. The little teeny.
Yeah, but now, do you think the guy that they paraded through town was more powerful than the Ashanti girls? Because it took two of them to hold him down, and he wasn't doing anything.
There was actually a discussion about that Moiraine had with Lan in the last episode, where Lan says, "Is he as strong as Egwene is?" And she says, "I don't know."
Yeah, we don't even know what Egwene has.
And we don't know shit about Egwene's strength, right?
And what we've seen so far isn't as impressive as Nynaeve, but remember, so I agree that there had to be two people holding him down. So it's to me, it's not a 1-to-1. Whatever he had was stronger than them because he wasn't even sweating. But then when Nynaeve blew up, he said it's like the raging sun after Moiraine had that conversation with him. So whatever he saw in Nynaeve, it seemed to indicate that what he saw in her was way stronger than what he had.
Right.
Which is why this whole idea of everybody want all the Aes Sedai want her as one of theirs, and they're going to probably start fighting over her.
Now,
Leandra does refer to her as a prize in this episode.
Yeah.
Now, there was a reason they had to get back to the White Tower, and it was because, like, I want to say there was an entity or something that had sent them out and said, bring this person back. Do you remember that?
That's the leader.
We haven't met that person yet.
No, they were talking about her tonight, too.
Right. They mentioned that someone named the Amaryllin Seat is on her way back from Camelin and is pissed and she wants some butts. She's
the one that is also, so her name, this is why it's confusing, is that Xian Chen, right? That's the same person.
Correct.
Yeah. So, yeah, they had to bring back the guy because that's what they were going to try and get him back there anyway. But they also had to bring back, or it seemed obviously, the Aes Sedai who had died, and the whole procession of her coming back, and again, ceremonial of her boots being backwards in the stirrups.
The next episode is called "The Flame of Tarvalon."
I do like that the way of the leaf keeps is a very recurring theme.
I don't know how much farther it will be without the Tinkers, because they're the ones who seem to refer to it as so much.
Do you think they're going away?
Do you think they're dead?
I don't think they're going to be doing a lot more in the show. They brought the others to
where they needed to go.
Yeah, I think if there are more, it will be Dreadboy.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because he already mentioned that when they turn 20, they get to go and explore. So
he may just go hang out with them.
Hopefully, the horse didn't, impale him too badly, and we'll see him back because he's fun.
Favorite character, favorite scene, and then give this episode a grade.
Out of 10.
G-Mama, go with favorite character this episode.
I feel like I always pick like kind of a big character, but I am. So I liked Lan at the end, but my favorite character is I can't remember her name now, the tinker, the head tinker, Isla, who stood up to the White Cloaks and started blinking arms, and she protected. She kind of took a slap, and she stood her ground. She kept her beliefs while protecting what she needed to protect. I liked that.
And then they just became human punching bags.
It was awful. What happened and what the White Cloaks were doing, but I liked her.
My favorite was Perrin. I thought he was pretty badass.
He was ready to sacrifice himself.
He was not brave. He was being emo. He's like,
I don't deserve.
Yeah, I don't deserve to live anyway. This is my fate. I killed my wife. So
those marks on my back. That's the first time I felt
I should die.
Overall,
Drum roll.
This episode I liked the least. I'll probably give it a 4.5.
4.5. All right.
It was almost a filler episode, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a waste.
Okay.
They could have done so much more that it was just like, okay, well, we'll just have everyone meet up and we'll do this and get it done with. And then we can move on to this. It was just kind of like we need to get them all together. Let's just do that and go on. And just the way I didn't appreciate the way.
And we'll just bookmark. We'll just put a funeral on either end.
Really uplifting.
Seriously,
really uplifting. G-Mama, what's your score for this episode?
Mine was probably 6.8. Not quite a 7. I was emotional in the emotional scenes. I liked they were really showing the bond between the warders and the Aes Sedai. it did seem like that was a lot of the story, though. And, you know, again, the whole scene we talked about where Loial came in and found Nynaeve, and he's like, oh, yeah, we found her. There was probably more to that. There were other things that progressed, but so it was, I mean, it was okay. I cried. I mean, I was very emotional on those scenes, but there was a lot of them. So I'm just an emotional person. I cry when other people cry.
No, I was crying too. Thank you everybody for sticking around to the end of the video. And if you haven't yet already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out a small channel like ours. We will be doing this regularly until the end of this season 1. I do hope you enjoyed this content. If you do have missed any of our previous episodes, the playlist to this will be in the description below. Good night, everybody. And as always, run for your life, because it is the way of the
Wars. Like I expected something
Ryan,
to come
we should say
flying by.
link arms.
Just at the top section there. It just looked futuristic, that one section.
Oh, interesting.
What do you think of the shape of it?
A little phallic.
It was very phallic, and when you look at the map of Tar-Valon, and that's what's in the middle of it, it's
Yes, absolutely.
Start spreading the news.
I did think that. I'm like, oh, of course, that's what's in the middle of the Vagina City.
Is a big.
It's a big penis.
It's a big dildo thing. Yeah.
Remember the penises in Little Mermaid?
Yes.
Oh yes,
the castle.
We actually had that video.
Yeah, the VHS.
Yes.
Yes, we rewinded it so many times to see the little priest boat.
It was on the cover of the VHS too.
Yeah. The spires were like
There was one that was a total penis.
Yeah.
And the minister gets a boner. And also there's that all good teenagers take out their glasses.
That's Aladdin.
I'm talking them all. And then 101 Dalmatians. Did you see how many little dog boners there were?
Lipsticks.
They're all little red dipsticks.
No, I didn't. But I will have to look for that now.
Don't look too hard.
Boys, that's your mom. Down.
I did like the fact that the mountain was there too to shoot out the white snow ash mountain next to the White City. Because he said, oh, look, that mountain looks familiar.
And what did you say the mountain did? Shot out ash?
Well, if you're talking about a clit.
Oh, jeez.
If we're still talking phallic here,
I was not.
let's just keep going.
Oh, yeah. So, Dick Mountain's just money shotting all over Tar-Valon.
Jizzy Mountain.
All right.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Thank you.
I was not going to go there, G-Mama, but thanks for having the
You
gonads.
all go where I don't dare to.
Well, I mean, do you think it's coincidence that he just basically told Steppin he's going to be getting trained by 2 men and then he kills himself that night?
Nope.
There we go.
Yeah, I deserve that one.
Yeah.
Like, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Each one of them will have something that needs to be brought together or brought to the table to complete the circle.
Yeah, but who's going to play bass though?
Dave Grohl, he does everything.
So we have Rand. Who else? Who's on bass? Nynaeve's on bass. Of course she's on bass.
Yeah.
Of course, Nynaeve's on bass. Egwene sings.
Yeah.
Karen's the drummer.
Well,
Matt's on guitar. Matt plays the keytar.
Perrin could be on bass. He's pretty unnecessary to the story anyways.
Spoken to the bassist.
Right. All right, so Matt and Rand get into the city.
like there was like an evil voice.
Well, first he was like, Nynaeve, oh, is that you? Oh, it's so good to see you. She's like, let me see your tongue. He's like, get the fuck away.
Right. Yeah. And then
He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
and then
I just had a Slurpee.
Did you just have a sour warhead? Why is my tongue all blue? Is my tongue all blue? Hey guys, is my tongue blue?
I remember that.
So gross.
Let's go.
Why were we eating and drinking blue things?
Oh,
What the
Because
F?
we could. That was
Think about that.
Jolly Ranchers, baby.
man. That was like a big deal.
what do you mean were, by the way, Ryan?
I know. If you put a blue drink in front of me, nope.
Even
Really?
if it has rum in it?
I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, that's
I've had
no, there's a, hey,
no,
you know what I'm talking about. They're just like chemical goo just fed to children just because it's
A
colorful.
blue raspberry Slurpee is really refreshing
It's
on
so
a hot
good.
summer day.
So good. Blue cherry.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
That's how they
You're
get
a
you.
lifelong customer since childhood.
I'm Team Blue Tongue. Hey, chat, let us know if you're Team Blue Tongue or Team whatever natural blog
Blue
bacteria.
Jolly
it's on you.
Rancher?
Oh, by the way, blue kills bacterias. That's good.
And if you add vodka to it, it's really good.
It's really good.